Welcome to the Crazy Hat Chemist. So here we go again today. We're talking about bonding. So we're doing video number 5. And let's go. Bam! So ionic compounds and their properties. So ionic compounds are formed between a metal and a nonmetal when there is a complete transfer of an electron or electrons. When there's a transfer of electrons, now you have a positive charge and a negative charge. And those two atoms, which are now ions, are held together electrostatically. Just like a magnet, two magnets are held together electrostatically. There's a repeating array, that's this crystalline lattice structure that all of these have, these ionic compounds. Okay? Ionic compounds are called salts. A salt. So, what is characteristic of a salt? They will conduct electricity under two circumstances. Number one, they will conduct electricity when they are melted, or number two, when they are dissolved in water, i.e. in an aqueous solution. Okay, they will not conduct electricity when they are in their solid state. Okay, ionic compounds are solids at room temperature. That's that RT. They are solids at room temperature. They have very high melting points. Okay. And this is an example of a salt. Here's the crystalline microscopic view of a salt. And here is a model of a salt molecule. And actually, you can see that one right here, too. There's a model of a salt molecule, just like what you have right there. Okay? So let's talk a little bit more about this salt. So right here is a beaker filled with some water, and I've just thrown some sodium chloride in there. So if I threw some sodium chloride into that beaker, then now that would be an aqueous solution of salt. Okay, so right here, the sodium ions are represented by these positive charges because they have lost an electron to the chloride ions, which are represented by these negative charges. The sodium ions in my molecule right here that you see before me that I'm holding on to are the blue ones are the sodiums and the green ones are the chlorines. Okay? And what happens when you throw this into water, then this is what happens. So pay attention to this. I just happen to have some water in my pocket. So what happens is that this is a water molecule right here. This is sodium chloride in this repeating array. It's a crystalline structure. And so the water molecule will come in and grab a hold of the part of the sodium chloride, and it will adhere to it via this ionic bond of some kind here. So the ionic bond is between the sodium and the chloride, but this is an ion and this is a permanent dipole, and these two things will now adhere together. So now that you see, what will happen is that the water molecules will surround the sodium completely, all the way around three-dimensionally. And they're following a particular pattern. You should see that the oxygen, which is electronegative, covers up the sodium ion completely. Okay? And then you get this like structure right here. Okay? The other thing that happens is, as that salt right here is in solution, now you have water that can now attack to the chloride ion, and it will eventually remove the chloride ion with enough water molecules. So we're going to remove that chloride ion, and it will be, again, completely covered in the water molecules. Okay, this is a molecular dipole and an ion, so it's a dipole-ion interaction here. I got one more water molecule to add. And you should see there's a huge difference between what you have on the sodium ion, where the oxygens are adhering to the sodium, or the chloride ion, where the hydrogens are adhering to the chloride. So you should see the difference between the two. Okay, that allows hydrogen bonds to form between the water molecules as well within the structure. And then eventually what will happen is all the sodium chloride will be completely disassociated. This sodium chloride will be completely disassociated, and it will be an ions in solution. And that's why sodium chloride aqueous conducts electricity, because there are ions in solution. Very cool model. I hope you enjoyed that video. Give me a thumbs up if you like that video. Chloe, thank you very much for this hat. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time.